Hi everybody, David here. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Bit of an update today, except it isn't one, because it's simply a tasting of the Eike Stout. I've been waiting for this review for the last 2 weeks since I bottled it. 2 weeks a day that's been bottled. Worked out at 5% ABV. And just to remind you, it came from, the recipe came from Real Beer Revolution. Mike Halls in South Africa, I think he's based in Cape Town. He went to Stellanbosch Brewing Company, met a guy called Bruce Collins who owns the brewery. I think it's his recipe. He gave Mike a Grainfather recipe, well, a homebrew recipe. Make it on any system you want. And it's out there for everybody to see, and I just copied it. Just the same as I did with the hoppy wheat. So today's the day I'm going to try it. I've had it chilling a bit. It's been in the garage a couple of weeks, it's been warm in the garage. So let's see what we make of it. Yeah, as I say, 5% ABV. So let's listen for, see if you can hear a hiss. Any sign of smoke? Well, I heard the hiss, I don't know whether you did. There is smoke there, so it has carbonated. I've got 3 glasses here just in case it's a bit lively. I'm probably using the wrong glass, but I don't really think it matters. I'll pour it, oh yeah, I'm going to pour this slow. I can see it's going to be lively, this one. Very, very bubbly. Very bubbly. It's coming out clear though as I'm pouring it. Wow, it's a nice, not white head, just off white, brown, not totally brown. Tight bubbles on the head. Oh yeah, I can see the carbonation. My method is to put 9 mils of sweet sugary solution into each bottle to carbonate it. I use glucose, dextrose, whatever you call it, with water, boil it up, and then I put 9 mil in each bottle. Wow, that is carbonated. I'm nearly there. Wow. Very clear as it's coming out, that's far enough for me. Look at that. Very dark. Not pitch black, almost a brown colour. Mixture of brown and black, I would say. But look at the head, that's really carbonated, maybe over carbonated. But it has been warm. I mean, if I'd have done this in the winter, it might have been less. But yeah, I can see the carbonation there at the bubbles coming up from the bottom. I don't know whether you can. Let's take a smell then. Let's get a bit of a sniff on the nose. See what aromas we can get. Just to remind you, before I have a smell and a taste, which I'm dying to have, it was fermented for 14 days. Then it had a vanilla pod, which had the seeds scraped out and cut up in, I think, about 50 ml of brandy poured in. And then it was another 14 days. So there were 4 full weeks in the fermenter, and then it's been bottled for 2 full weeks. So it's more or less 6 weeks today since I made it. Wow, there's some foam there. Oh yeah, I get that smell of brandy. I get soft, gentle flavours of roasted coffee, chocolate maybe. There's malts. I'm not the world's best beer reviewer, as you can probably tell, but I know a good beer when I taste one. The smell is gorgeous. Yeah, there's a slight smell of alcohol. It's almost like, it's almost like Christmas type spices, flavours. You know, like when you're making a Christmas pudding. Some of those sort of smells come out, but very gentle. There's nothing harsh. Oh, I've got to try it. I'm going to go in then. Let me just get rid of a bit of this foam. I haven't got rid of so much, have I? But let's have a good drink. Well, I've waited 6 weeks to drink that from the day I made it. And I'll tell you what, it's been worth every day's wait. That is absolutely beautiful, is that? Wow. So smooth. Now it's slightly overcarbed, I'll admit that. But I think that's going to settle. But those flavours, I'll tell you what I get first. I'll just check again. I get a kick of sweetness, not overpowering, just a hint, well, a hint of sweetness, and then it dies away more or less instantly, and you're left with those coffee, chocolate, roasted flavours, and also the caramel and the malts that went into this. You can see the recipe on the video that I did when I made it. And the seam, there's no harshness there, no harshness at all. It's just a soft, gentle mixture of flavours that are very well balanced. I'll go in again. Oh, it trickles down. I'm getting that brandy and slight vanilla now. It's a creme brulee style stout, is that? Which means, I suppose, that it's nice and creamy and smooth, and by heck, it is. But it's the taste that's getting me. That little hint of sweetness, it just dies, as I say, it just dies away, and you're left with all your flavours, not harsh at all. I made a Fuller's London Porter about 3 months since, and that was a first class brew that I made. But that's different. You get lots of strong coffee and strong roasted flavours. These are all subtle and they all blend. The actual balance of the roasted flavours and your chocolate and your coffee mixed with your soft malts and your malted oats, perfect balance. They all mingle excellent. Now this won the Cape Town Festival of Beer's overall prize in 2017, and I can see why. I think it won its own category to start with, stouts and black beers, and then it went on to win the overall prize. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, that is really superb. I think the guy who did this recipe was a man called Bruce Collins, who owns Stellanbosch Brewing Company. Now, I have been to Stellanbosch. It's 5 or 6 years ago. Me and my wife went and we toured the wineries there. We went round Stellanbosch, but I didn't go to the breweries. But I'll tell you this, next time I go to Stellanbosch, I'm going to go to the brewing company there because I think this is their signature beer. I mean, they make other beers, but I think this is the one that the main one. But it's fantastic. I did say to my wife a few weeks ago, I think the best beer I've ever made, when she asked me, was the Hoppy Wheat, which again was from Real Beer Revolution's website, which was put on. That was from Little Wolf Brewery. And I do like that style of beer and that flavour of beer. In fact, I've only got 2 bottles left. I'm going to brew it again in a couple of weeks' time. I've got a Hefeweizen on in the background, which I've just dry up today. But I think I'll be making Hoppy Wheat again. But I'll tell you this, I think this is the best beer I've made. Even though I do prefer, I'm not a big stout fan, but this one is absolutely superb. I think this is definitely the best. I can't get over those flavours. I really can't. How they mingle together and how that sweetness, initial sweetness, doesn't burst into your mouth. It's just there and then it's gone. and you're left with those gentle, beautiful flavours that's perfectly mingled. So thanks to, I think, Bruce Collins, Stellanbosch Brewing Company. Thanks again to Mike Halls, who put this on his website, Real Beer Revolution. It's there for anybody to make. And if you like stout, just go on and copy the recipe and make it. I'd love to give this out to a few of my friends on YouTube who are stout drinkers and know the beer's better than me, to see what they think. I mean, this is only my opinion, I made it. But I've always said, I might not be the world's best beer reviewer, but I do know a good beer, and I'll tell you what, that is, to me, is an excellent beer. 5%, and I can feel it as well. So I'll wrap it up then. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody, and all the best, and happy brewing.